What's going on, YouTube? So, you've spent your valuable money, your time, efforts, marketing to potential clients, to prospects. You finally get the opportunity to go ahead and do your walkthrough, okay? You do your walkthrough, you listen to your prospect, you make a really good impression, you get down everything that they need within the scope of work, okay? You take the scope of work, or you take all the information that you gained, that you gathered, you go and you create a proposal. Within your proposal, I always advise to do 1-year contracts, at least a 1-year contract, so that you know where your money is always going to come from, when it's going to come, so on and so forth. All of that's going to be laid out in your terms and conditions, right? Or within your conditions of service. So you have all of that stuff together, and then you submit your proposal to the customer. Once you submit the proposal to the customer, one of two things is going to happen. The customer is going to either say yes, which is what you're hoping for, or the customer is going to say no. And if they say no, again, I always advise for anyone to do a follow-up question to that no. And the follow-up question to that no is, was there anything else that I could have done for future references, right? This is all learning. You're learning. Is there anything else that I could have done to represent my company in a way that would make us more compatible, or more competitive for the next go around? And they don't usually have a problem with telling you yes or no, right? They may say something along the lines of, and this has actually happened to me, where my company, we were this close to getting a really large contract, and in all honesty, it wouldn't have worked out. Right before they made the decision for the contract, COVID broke out. So I'm kind of glad I didn't get it. But with me asking the question, what is it that I could have done in the future to make us more competitive? And the answer was just something that my company needed to age a little bit more. For the responsibility that we were taking on, my company didn't have the maturity to take on that responsibility 7 days a week, throughout the year. And really, we didn't. I was stepping into a whole new weight class, and I really wasn't ready. I'm ready for it now, but I wasn't then. That was valuable information that I was able to take, analyze, restructure my company to now we will be more competitive moving forward in that regard. But for the sake of this video and for you getting more clients, let's say that the customer says, well, your price was a little bit more than some of the competitors, right? You never ever go down on your price. What I would suggest in this situation is for you to counter their counter and come up with something along the lines of, yes, I know that our prices are a little bit higher than the competition, but so is our level of quality when it comes to providing services to our customers, something along those lines. As a show of good faith that we are really who we say that we are, and that we're going to provide you with the absolute best service, why don't we, for the first 3 months, why don't we move on a month-to-month basis? That way, you can evaluate us, we can evaluate the scope of work and any changes that need to be done, and we can move accordingly or move forward after the 3 months, or we're just not a good fit for one another, and we'll cut our losses if you decide that this is that we're just not a good fit after this time frame. Almost 95% of them are going to say, okay, well, we will give you a shot if and only if you made a good enough impression during your initial walkthrough. They will give you a chance if you are willing to not go down on price. Do not change your price, but you become a little flexible within your terms. So maybe we don't have to necessarily go ahead and do a 12 month. We can go ahead and trial period, whether it's a month, 60 days, 90 days, whatever it is, right? Just so they can fill you out. Because from a client standpoint, from a customer standpoint, from their point of view, giving a complete stranger 100% total access to their building, to their keys, to their alarm codes, is completely scary. Quick story. I had a contract about, I don't know, maybe it was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and it was a marijuana dispensary. Well, I don't know if the laws changed right now, but then the dispensary weren't allowed to, they had to have cash. So do you know how much it made me nervous as a business owner? And I never cleaned that account. I had, my staff in there cleaning the account. But there's thousands upon thousands of dollars everywhere. And the real estate space that they were in really wasn't that big. There was, they had to have space for their product. So there was just so much cash everywhere. To the point when we were doing the walkthrough initially, I was like, hey, is it possible that we could keep this door locked, or so that as a business owner, you never want any of your staff to do anything that you're going to have to answer for. But when people start to see large sums of money, there's temptations, and sometimes people fall victim. I want to be able to close that window as much as possible, right? And nothing ever happened. But after we did it for maybe like 4 months, I got with that owner of the dispensary, and we agreed that, hey, this job that we're doing, this is not a good fit for my company. This isn't a good fit. Our cultures are different, right? So we were able to go, and we still have a good relationship to this day. So it's just a matter of, sometimes you'll get a contract and it's just not a good fit for you. It may not be a good fit for your company. So have that same level of consideration for some of these account owners, some of these prospects, or some of these operations managers or business owners. Have some of that same consideration for them because you may not necessarily be a good fit for them either. But again, that is the way that I know not to change your price, but to increase your chances of getting an account. And that way is 100%. It doesn't cost you any more money. You spent all your money up front getting in the face of that customer, so it doesn't cost you anything extra. But that way can make you more money if you do get the contract and you perform the way that you say that you can perform, and it's up to the customer standards. In the best case scenario, it exceeds the customer standards. Then that way, they'll be able to go ahead and refer you to someone else within their same industry, and then you rinse and repeat. That is the best way to go about increasing your accounts, increasing your bottom line, increasing your net worth, by following that simple, easy, efficient method, right? That's the best way to do it. So guys, like I say, I'm always dropping jewels. Just make sure you're in position to pick them up by liking, commenting, and subscribing. My name is Marcus Crockett. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.